I love the creativity of the sensors, and again,
So from the A-Link area, before you even exit, before there's even danger, I forgot who was doing it. It was in VCT, but you can throw that deadlock wall and just absolutely block lower mid, like instantly. So right where you see Femboy going now, if deadlock kind of walks up just to the left there, they can throw their wall over that little piece of wall and just block mid like beginning of the round. It's so annoying. It's one of the most annoying things. It's so fun.
Here.
I mean, they could go for that, but or you could just send Femboy down mid link. That's what the pings are suggesting here. We'll see if the follow through is in fact true, but for the time being, the Asher Stars are kind of procced to negate that kind of approach, but otherwise it feels like both teams already from the get-go understand the importance of this mid control. Looks like it's an attempt to just pure life fight so you can get an advantage here.
Ooh, quickly sidestepped out. Yeah, they all want positioning.
Oh no.
Ooh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I love the audacity of it when there were just too many members of Ghost. Now it's the right click. Classics coming in. Millie's going to turn and get a kill there as Juna starts to answer the 3v3 after the chaos and the dust settles.
Wow. Now Spike down top mid. The players kind of sandwiched here. The player that could make a difference would have been Ariel in my mind, but left in the 1v3. Now you got to start checking your corners, checking your backs, and that Nova pulse to clear out this link space just kind of gives away the game, gives away where you're going for, and the remaining WADA players will congregate and play a friendship in this dark cover around the Spike.
Oh, another pistol. And another round for WADA.
And test them again.
They continue to control the series ever so slightly now into Corrode with that first one. The Outlaws to come out for Starbound. Honestly, if it's not like an eye attached to a scope, it's not Starbound. Like always a rifle, always an angle. It really makes it tough for Ghost to encroach on any positions, get there without using util. It's so expensive to move around the map with Starbound.
Absolutely, but I did like what we kind of saw there from Ghost in terms of how things are going to start. Right, it's going to be the consistent aerial lurk because you get those global smokes. It's going to be team fights the rest of the way through. But again, the issue here is the productivity from WADA. Right, as soon as sound is made, as soon as power calms, that hey, they're pressuring B main pretty heavily. You see the immediate pressure. Right, deadlock wall down mid, post up the judge. This is a nice taunt to try and get more information about what's happening there so Ariel doesn't feel so alone over towards A main. But even then, right, now that haunt is gone, now they have to re-clear it with the arc rose. It's just, again, I'm not seeing an end goal in mind for Ghost just yet as they rotate over towards A.
And without the mid,
look what they can run into.
Without mid control, you can just see WADA flowing back and forth through mid really quickly between sites there. It's still going to get a little bit of a touch on the left side here. Vanitas to maybe throw something, make a little step. And then they commit. 45 seconds left on the round here. More mid being held down so WADA can go between the sites. And it's going to be a sell by Vanitas.
I mean, not even that. It feels like they're just that confident in Starbound that they can stack the players over towards
30
B.
seconds left.
Right, with a singular sensor. And as soon as contact's made here, I mean, Star gets two. Gets the TP out, and then that's just the rotations called back. Like, Vanitas, you've already gotten a kill on the B site, but number one, to just get the refrag, and number two, there wouldn't have been time for the remaining two Ghost members to rotate back over. So now it's just the next opponent you have to face on the site. The judge from Aria, the net to set them up, and it's actually the backstab from Juno with the Bulldog out of mid. So, Riv, like you mentioned, just the overall control there, really strong and flipped in WADA's favor.
I want to see some pressure mid once we get into a gun round here from Ghost, just to make sure that there's not so much easy rotation. And this is the first time we're seeing WADA. They look just as comfortable as they did on Ascent to start, but it's only 2 rounds. It's a recency bias. So we have a whole map to go here. And yeah, it does look like you'll get a little bit of that mid pressure in just to taunt it and see what kind of fight they can get.
Yep. We'll see if it's as chaotic as the pistol round was.
Oh boy.
Starbound also trying to get into the action. Wobbing with the Outlaw is deadly, but the Aria Fanboy Judge is even more so. Vanitas trying to pick up the broken glass that shattered at their feet, but no picture to be found. Now with the wall trying to be a broken over towards A main. You know exactly where Ariel is, and you're gonna pinch her.
Power
That's
Flex
insult
L.
to injury.
I'm gonna call it Power Flex L. No, Power Pix L is just Ghost flexing every round. Again into this one when they rushed mid. Just feeling it. Trying to send a message here and just say we came to play, we're ready, and we're gonna make it sting. 3-0, another bonus, continuous rounds here for WADA.
All right, and a little bit of a switch up unless Starbound makes their way to B-Link. Yeah. I'm gonna say, changing how they're not changing how they fight mid. It's just that's insane. Number one, how they just leverage that map control off their own TP. But again, it feels like Ghost understands that mid is the lock on this map, but they don't have the right key, and they have yet to find the right key. As soon as they fight, they have to get out. They realize that WADA's happy to take that fight and hopefully win it. And when you don't have better weapons like this, after again another bonus loss, like over on Ascent, you can't force your hand there.
Yeah. And here, WADA gets to play mid with all of that utility, and they still have safety at A. They don't have to worry about getting backstabbed at all. It's censored, it's walled. The play mid didn't come up with anything, so they're default and reset now for another play.
Starting to again understand how this double sentinel acts, right? Starbound on the offensive, super defensive with an early wall, more for information than for side hold potential. So this is where, hey, these are the sensors that I do actually. So thank you, Australis, but overwhelmed by the Fade, not going to be able to really react upon them. Just waits out the utility, hopefully waits out the marking. This could be an entry, could be weapon handed off, but it's just a meat grinder as the dark cover comes in.
Oh.
Wow.
Still just human.
The indecision in targets, even though we had just a view of one, there were multiple members WADA out of there, causing Ghost to kind of trade different shots, and they get cleaned up again. The operator singing now for Starbound easily with that purchase. Tour de Force comes up if there's any trouble with that. And WADA is putting up the wall now. Gonna have a main control to start here with 3 this time, as they go for a completely different strat, as they just went for that hard mid paranoia. Let's see what Ghost has.
Keep Ghost guessing this time, clear all the A main space, and if Star and Power connect that there's 4 players running at them, I could even see a follow-through pinch play, but now, I mean, did they get onto the site?
Down B.
This long-standing duo all the way back from the EG days coming out in full force to anchor this B site. Vanitas, Ariel left, separated here. Again, your lurk and your follow-up.
Oh, no.
Fortunate, it doesn't look like either half is going to find its mark.
Oh, the paranoia goes through hits. They're just going to chase down Ariel now. What a trip there from Starbound. Everybody's just walking in, wubbing, all slowed down. And that makes it real tough to be able to take the site in unison. And now, just the last bits of search. Find the slide into home plate. Femboy picks up another one. 5-0 in a flawless round for WADA here. Might be a time for a timeout.
Yeah, that's exactly what the sequencing was over on Ascent, and it looks like you've called it. It's going to occur again. It was out of this timeout, right? That they lost the eco, but then won the rifle round, right? Yeah, I believe. So again, very, very, very familiar in that regard. One difference to note, I will say, I think Ghost Gaming had 2 ults coming out of the bonus on the coming into the 6th. Here they have the Steel Garden, which I think would put them on even footing if they do want to invest ults and put a go at getting this round instead of the 7th. But again, they've tried the B-pop. They haven't really tried like an A off rip with weapons. They haven't even been able to get that mid space to try and have an A split, right? Because it's just where WADA is every single time. So I don't even have an answer at this point. It's just, again, maybe they come up with a util combo, come up with the ults to force their hand on mid to get them to let up on that link space.
Yeah.
Or you can get lucky, right? There was one round where they went A main heavy fight, and that's when you can get someone through link.
Gotta go.
Oh.
What do you think?
I'm thinking of each. It's just kind of coming down to a game of firepower right now.
There.
So I'm trying to think around that. And that how is it just double faces they can get away with swinging?
I'm gonna
Maybe
fry that
op
dog.
identification and then avoidance is just like a step 1, right? Little things that they can piece together as a dominoes. I don't know, it's hard to put the package together for them right now all at once. They go for a push over towards A. I like the retaliation. You know, WADA was forced back just as much as Ghost there, so they both have really good answers. And we do get a lot of tags, and the Nightfalls are just one off here. So if we can get a Nightfall hit and avoid these lurks down mid, I think Ghost could really, really put themselves in a good position.
Yeah, I'm impressed by the boldness out of Ghost trying to go for the V pop after kind of getting bodied, and especially with them off the weapons. But the difficulty, again, never able to gain any of this mid space, whether it's from unlucky bullets through smokes or even now. Look, Power once again in this lethal corner. Gate it this time, not gonna let them get away with it. Now finally that's Link kind of opened up, right? There are second layers of defense coming in. You still also have the trademark there, but slowly but surely, right? Inch by inch, they're dropping these players. They're punishing the over-exploration. Suddenly, they're on 4v2.
They go back through.
30 seconds left.
It looks like it. They'll wait for the wall, pop the wall, and make their way over. Femboy sees, though, was safe through a smoke rotation earlier. Oh, the overdrive. The overdrive is delaying. Oh, the overdrive delayed even more. Spike, 15 seconds. Needs to get picked up. It's headed to site, and they're forced to plant on this, but also forced to cover each other.
10 seconds left.
Vanitas backs up. They know they're going to get the plant down here. This is sketchy, Zobi, but we reset the timer a bit to get into sight for the retake.
And the pressure, the clock there meant he just could not get one of the two known players still alive, and now it's just a matter of fading and letting your hero rifle that was picked up from that mid fight, that trophy, propel you into first round win and Starbound. Usually the master even close proximity on the operator, but it's Edith and this 4K, right? Punishing the over-aggression, picking up that weapon and carrying it forward like a torch into brighter times into their first round. That's super, super impressive, and they're able to convert right out of the timeout given the worst buy.
Exactly. They didn't have to wait around this time. Getting good return on investment on those, actually. Just kind of reset the mental and remind everybody of a few things. It doesn't seem like they're being shut down at like every turn, so we're not really seeing Ghost do things terribly wrong. But just that mental reset. Keep doing what you're doing. Sometimes you need to hear it. And I think that's really what's helping them get back on track. Here we go. Fast lane into sight as they go with that null command as well. So they're just trying to silence the side of WADA here. And Ariel's going to start with that. And the Vandal.
Picking up on the tendencies of Power to try and act as a sentinel to swing those nice angles. And it looked like for a second, right, with Power fleeing, they were going to play the 5-on-5 retake. They were going to respect the space, but now look at that, right? No Nightfall for the retake. Do have, again, the tour de force, but again, this composition, I don't want to say that it's weak in terms of retake potential, but that is sort of the case when you don't have the Annihilation of the Nightfall online. And now it all hinges really on Juna, kind of in this round-winning position. Even if they take a deep elbow space, it would be Venita, Stofel, and now you know where those two players are, CT, because of the loss of Starbound, so you can confidently take this space. And hopefully take the round. Edith in the 1v2, the wall, goes awry, and that could cost them everything, and it does! To-back multi-kills.
Edith again. To help the Thrifty, now they get the Red Bull clutch. We talked about it. Edith can step up, Vanitas is there too. It is the power they can use to get through WADA. And those are two huge rounds. Being able to avoid the up 2 is definitely a big help so far. They just skirt around Starbound.
Now, again, maybe they'll learn. I was going to say, they either have to get ahead of this B pressure or they just need to give up the space, play off the Nightfall. Seems to be the former. Deepont trying to set up, hey, we're probably fighting this, but that's something that Ghost has done really, really well. Like you mentioned, they pushed them back on this B main line. Time and time again, just the off-the-rip Prowler, the fast lane, if there was a presence, probably a relay bolt. And all of this, even if they don't follow through on it, right, sets the seeds of doubt, sets up Vanitas on a lurk, or Ariel we've seen previously as well. So again, the lurk player is a really strong point of Ghost. It's more the follow-through and if they can win the mid-fight.
Patience from Ghost on these rounds can sometimes cause problems. Utils actually get themselves mid-spot. There's so many corners. It takes a lot of discipline here to get into spaces you haven't been all map.
Hush.
Wow. There it is. First lurk taken out. Still very over towards A main. And you can see, again, A hesitation from Juno. Okay, they can slip the net, the timing, the wall is down. Starter,
Yep.
I think that's why they're rotating over to pick up that yard control to post back up on the A line, but this still sets a weak position, a high amount of pressure on Power
30
Pixel. I would
seconds
get contact, maybe Nightfall to delay and just get out of there.
Bring them down.
Use it to play retakes
Slowly.
for your team.
Yeah. Good to hear all those pigs.
You know, they're all there. The entire team can just rotate, right? That definitely took all three of them.
They're gonna push again. They did this last time to take down Starbound. It really worked for them to get aggressive. The Ghost has looked most cooperative for themselves in this situation. Oh, Starbound is there though to get the backup. Now it's up to Miara and Ariel. Trying to play their lives, but also play for a quick pick. Finds the one. Australis is down. That should be another one. Yeah, that's another one. Ariel also finds the 1v1, and Power Pixel comes into the site. Doesn't seem like there will be enough time.
Yeah, Ariel's offside, playing stars, playing suck, and
You have got to be kidding me.
you mentioned they had that recognition of fight into elbow, just didn't do it quick enough, and Judah on the solo fight as well through mid link, just falling complicates things further, so those players can just completely handle the elbow, handle the heaven pressure, and up 5-3, getting a little pause here. I was gonna say, to me, this would be a WADA timeout kind of moment. Not the 7-3 we saw prior, but again, I think it's just King Fred. Whenever there's a 2-round gap after you had an explosive lead, you've got to stop the snowball. You've got to chat about what's going wrong, particularly surrounding this B site.
Ghost is actually faring well in the scrappy moments and kind of identifying the situation and what needs to happen really well. And now they're kind of taking the state of the game under their wing, figuring out where where WADA is actually least effective. That little bit of a mid play helped a lot. WADA's had way too much free mid. While they did lose one on the side of Ghost, I think it helped open up the possibility for getting into a site without too much retaliation right away.
Well, to me, I don't really have an answer just yet. We've seen the really late Juno wraps, right, through mid after they kind of missed the timing on Ariel. Ariel was rotated back to fight with the team. I think that's the answer. That's more than one player, right? Because Juno's been in these high, like, potential positions, but if they immediately get traded or they just don't connect on those shots, then that kind of win con falls short. So I would say leverage what's been working for you mid control and maybe try to get behind. You mentioned again them not being framed properly for these B fights, but in the meantime, Ghost, hey, they got improved, they got adapted to the timeout, and looks like they might have cooked up an ace solve.
This trip was detrimental at B. They got to identify it pretty quick. It's not going to see just on the side of the fast lane. Juna still capitalizes on one frag, but is the soft site choice here for Ghost. Femboy just picks one out of the sky.
Whew. It's again why you can't challenge this A side right now. The one thing WADA's confident in, the paranoia, the dash in, beautifully connects there. And the transfer there from Aria, from Femboy is absurd. Even with a Vandal, mine doesn't do that, and that's gotta be a moment of frustration. That's how your turnaround streak comes to an end.
Brother is. Holy moly. That was wild. Because when Femboy started jumping in, you're like, oh, wait, everybody's going to be looking at you. And then we went to Femboy's view, and there was just clouded faces everywhere from a perfect paranoia. Like, the timing they're hitting is... Yeah, and Juna, the timing they're hitting.
Show them.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I said it. I said Juna is more of an omen than a vice any day of the week. And I'm supposed to do a good job overall on Ascent with the assist, but it's nothing compared to the 11-3 monster we have right now in the server. And now, again, we mentioned how they want to solve, they want to fix this B hold. So, Doc, you're double senti here, right? You see the deadlock util? Might not be expecting the starbound operator. Who's going to brave the terrain?
Noise is cut. Oh, never mind. Noise is made. 3 quick stars. Those are not dismisses. They want the site. They're going to push in. The sensors are going to really slow things down here. They're trying to hold the left side. Astralis comes up big with a few as Starbound's able to call the rest that are in the site.
I'm out of here.
I thought I'd keep them at bay. As they try to take deeper space. They're gonna overwhelm. They're gonna flip, and the spike actually never went down. So they're gonna take the easy way out. A massive A rotation. That trademark should be down, and even if it was up out of the radius, the immediate read though from Starbound from Juna comes through. The rotates immediate through Crane. I'm curious to see how this off-site play.
Yeah.
It's
They're
gonna
like, Juna still has paranoia. Get out of the site. It's like, find a way to hide away from each other. More than arm's length.
Shadows traveling.
This is perfect. Yeah, the post-plant delay here should be immense. Is there even... Oh, just a speed up for Edith. Doesn't have any relays used to get in. One tap. A star. And now the fight should ensue. It's going to be so hard to cover each other. And that angle of the wall makes it so difficult to even be in a safe spot. Yeah, it's such an easy spam. Really well done by Ghost here. They've got a formula, a winning formula after their timeout. And they pull another round back after WADA tries to regain control.
WADA really struggling in these retakes, A or B. And while B, the way it opened looked like it was going to go the way of WADA, Australis finding two really clean off of her utility. It just unfortunately fell a little bit short. And honestly, for WADA, again, you want a clean match. You want those steamrolls. You mentioned when we get down to the nitty-gritty, like, rounds can be the difference for some of these teams. But honestly, as you ramp up towards the end of the half, right, you're getting the overdrive, you're getting the annihilation. I could see them just kind of using these to bump themselves up to that guaranteed lead at the half and be good to go. That's what Ghost is trying to prevent.
Peek out of A. A lot of knowledge there. And now they switch it up, right? They were sometimes leaving Starbound at A alone. Now, obviously, happy to leave a deadlock. Australis over there. And Annihilation, that you were talking about. So just bounce that around the wall. Easy stuff.
Gotta go.
Where do they go? How do they do it? They still want B. It seems like the protection of B is favorable for Ghost here.
And I mean, you heard 3 players destroying the wall, so WADA has to bite at the bait, has to have a few players extra rotate over, but as soon as they cut noise, you can see that pressure disseminating. Follow-up haunt. I think it just fell short, so not going to catch these players off either, and here comes that clash we've been anticipating, Riv.
They fly through. The Haunt didn't really stay up top on that one. Power Pixel with who was Starbound answers a third, 4 and 5, one after the other for a flawless round.
Last round
as WADA says, we'll take that right back.
Yeah, that was super impressive and not what I expected at all. Power just gets ahead of the timing while they're trying to deal with avoiding, right, the annihilation, while they're worried about getting the Starbound operator. That's perpetual even on the save rounds for WADA at this point. And eventually utilizing both to try and get yourself past that line, but now you pocket the overdrive to counter Edith. Because again, they have a broken buy here. That consistency was broken up by the WADA timeout. They want to get ahead of him. Beautiful paranoia again to set up the overdrive setup. Boy for
Oh
the
my gosh.
jump.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Oh, the chaos. Spike is down. Oh, that's wall's not going to matter. Vice is down. It's just going to be aerial here.
Blocking vision.
One plant, Cosmic Divide makes it tough. I think just has to play pretty much utility-less. 2 stars to use. At least 1 for the spike. Oh, yeah, like... That's such a chaotic round. You almost need to reset what your thought of the map is. You have no idea where anybody could be here.
My ult's ready.
Yeah, just walled, block some of the possibilities, right? You're just trying to narrow it down as best you can. Side smoke to play around, or even a grab well if you can get yourself into a proper position to play it. But that time to reposition has given away. It's gonna be up the side smoke. Just give question marks. Try to isolate these fights, and that Prowler missing. This is such a deadly angle. I want to see the soul read. You gotta know this is possibilities.
No!
What? I need a star POV and I'm not gonna get it. That is...
Oh,
there's no way they even saw the player.
That. What is that? That was a no-scope. That was definitely, or like the right-left click simultaneously with the millisecond gap for the
I'm gonna be
basically
asking
a
that,
nose quick scope.
I'm gonna be asking for that POV if it's not posted on Twitter later. And that's the round, right? That allows WADA to be up 8-4 right now at the half. Where once again, it's not as dire as a 9-3, right? But Ghost, heavy pressure to get their first pistol of the series. And hey, both teams seem that they know mid control's the name of the game, right? It looks like we might have like a little Chuck Flash dash down from Edith. And Edith, map 1 to map 2, night and day right now. Maybe they were even shackled by the operator, right? Over on Ascent.
Go, go, go!
See if they can get rounds here on the side of Ghost. This pistol would be their first. It is necessary. It almost seems. Moving forward towards A. WADA is not going to consider anybody on defense. They just keep going forward, sliding into position here, but it is going to be Ghost.
Movement.
They've gotten here quick, Zobi. They are working the site. Miara with 2. And that's going to be a tough regrab. Oh my god, the pistols are stinging here. Just laser beams coming from Ghost, and they get their first pistol of the series.
Wow, quick rotation. And insane anchorage. I thought this movement from Bemboy was about to overwhelm them, but Miara says, "Yeah, you don't have me tripping up." And Miara just domes too, and then Edith is able to complete the full house there to get that pistol through for Ghost Gaming. So again, I feel like Ghost and how we saw them really strong in these post plants, right? It's kind of a clue indicator of what's in store. They're gonna be really strong defensively.
Let's go.
WADA might have a hard time if they don't get early numbers advantage.
Go,
And
go, go!
hey, with Nico, no Forza, if you're up 8-4, 8-5, then just see how the mid fight will go.
Going a little aggressive for Ghost. I like the coverage though. This is one of the ways WADA kept such good control over the map in the first half, is at least a few people here all the time.
Gotta go!
Yeah, they're still just trying to identify how much Ghost wants to push mid though.
Yeah, I mean, you had that early KO knife, but that's about it. The pop flash swing probably to come out from beneath us here. There it is. Guardian domes you just as the smoke from the Astra comes up. The dark cover a little bit late out of Juna to try and stem the bleeding. Leave the Headhunter to try and find these long-range fights. You gotta get back to business, back to a site where I think Ariel has spotted you out and your mid player's gone too.
Everybody's, oh gosh, not even waiting for the smoke to go down. Yeah, and then the honk came through a little bit later, so we can see the miscomm there coming through. I think they figured it would be a little less occupied anyways, so a bit of discrepancy in the timing of the utility wouldn't matter, but it did. It mattered a lot, and now we're seeing Ghost find a bit of a groove. That was WADA trying to get through a round really to get to some bigger guns, which they have now. And we'll see how Ghost bonus goes, because this is also just as important as the pistol right now.
That would get them basically up to the 8-8, warranting a lack of a WADA thrifty. But I'm really liking how this is playing out right now. Just little micro but coordinated plays as well, right? We look at area Miara off the tuck. We like talk about the deep yard control. They understand defensively how this map works. And this is a dangerous game against 5 rifles with not much support other than an outlaw in your back line. And now that it's been overwhelmed, yeah, you can put a band-aid over it for the time being with that 0 point, but that'll only last forever. And now Miara's also on an island. They've kind of split up. They're splintered. And this is crumbling, Riv.
Yeah.
Gotta go!
They go for the advancement. You can't hate it, but it does seem like it could be a bit more structured on the side of Ghost. They have the right ideas, but WADA is also reading those ideas. They have to consider it. WADA is no longer falling prey to the state of the game like they did on Ascent for the few rounds they lost to time. They are continuously moving. And already they have the patience to get in. It's just chaos being caused in the back by Femboy as the rest of the team waits for the Vice Wall.
Again, if they can find these early picks, then they're pretty good to follow through on the round, right? Now that they've got their way in, just a matter of shutting down any heroics and winning this out in semi-flawless fashion. I'm expecting RA hopefully to swap up. If there were any loose vandals, not in time, but it's all right. Another round 1. Again, that lead firmly established here, but
That's a good spot.
just how important the bonus round was going to be. This rifle round equally so.
Yeah, absolutely. See if I can
No
get
ups
Edith
yet.
online a little bit more. Nobody's even close to being on deck, right? We have Power Pixels,
Power,
they're closest at 2, but It's got to be a Ghost. The way that Edith was kind of going and farming on those alt orbs, getting a little bit more aggressive for the team. And now they actually are going to. They're going to go on mid with 2 this time. A little bit stronger, but smoked out just to see if any utility is used to get through. Good space grab so far, and a little knowledge grab of the map by Ghost.
I just got flashbacks to the moment where like you can see over the Omen smoke and obliterate people top window, but not this time. Young as well. Respect enough for Starbound not to take that fight dry. Also doesn't want to lose the control that they have by occupying this mid-window space, but this is the difference, right? We always had players presence for WADA in Link, and now that there's not, they're kind of stuck here because they were going for that kind of tunnel visioned A main choke, and now, yeah, you're forced to fall out the line because you were in a tricky situation.
That KO knife just got all of them. They're suppressed, but it does not stop them from shooting. The bullets still work, and yeah, this is a retreat for Vanitas. Hunker down, Vanitas. It's gonna get tough.
Gotta clear out this cut, and Homeboy attempts to do.
Not ready yet.
30 seconds left.
So enough
Wait a
time to
minute.
get down B. We're talking about. She's able to find 2. Give her team a numbers advantage here. Why the desperation comes. Why Starbound felt the need to step up and fight forward. Give Juna a dying chance in this 1v2.
The trades are there for Ghost this time around. We're seeing such good retaliation here on their teammates going down. And now the 2 can source the angles of the site. One still high for Aerial. And Edith is just going to go on an adventure. See what they can find. Oh my god, they looked at each other for a moment. It's a little wave there. Half and fight it. Whoa! What was that?
They have a timer.
Oh my god, Juno playing it so clean. Edith a blur on the screen for a moment, but it didn't matter. Nothing, not a worry from Juna. A Red Bull clutch to lock it in.
Wow, and this is where the mental fortitude for a Ghost is going to get tested, right? We talked about Edith, we talked about the multi-kills she was able to find both last half and starting out this half. If you let a lost clutch like that fall through the cracks and blame yourself, then we're not going to see that same confident duelist that we need to get Ghost over the line to that map 3 on Sunset versus WADA. That's the kind that can empower you to start closing things out, right? Double digits, you broke the bank for Ghost. And we've seen every single player step up at different moments on this map so far. Okay, I like this. I want to try and set up those active sort of force angles, but it's Power actually through the smoke. Phantom deadly. Now it's just a Prowler follow-up to set Starbound up on the proper angle.
Gosh, so much util flying in from everywhere. You see that net coming in from Astralis for the shot there from Starbound. That came over here from B. Oh. Yeah, that gets tricky, but you see what Ghost realizes now. Like, you know what? It feels like someone's there. There's someone there. Power picks out. They don't have the same util to get around this corner, though, and it's going to matter. Oh, it always matters, especially when Power's on the other side. Miara comes up with the long-range stinger.
Even then, they still have so far to go. Look, double sensors, the wall on site to fragment the players. No one's coming from main. Ariel's going to be, I think, at the crux of this if she was able to get that kill onto Astralis, but Zovapulse came in late. Miara still took a chunk of damage, 30 HP to her name to get this done. 1v3, not to be attempted, and cover the Phantom. Wait for some exits here. Die to Spike. Ready for Nightfall, just get the Phantom and go.
Where are you?
Keep him safe.
No way! I mean, they didn't even know where Spike was planted, so that's unfortunate.
Also, newer map, those angles become tough. Like you said, don't know where it is, but even the extremities become so tough to know there. You just keep running. Don't look back.
Absolutely.
Don't look back. Shouldn't look anyways. It's cooler. Ghost Gaming gonna go for a timeout. We're gonna figure out what has turned around after the bonus to where they cannot reseat themselves here. But also, what do we do when we get a bunch of alts and just a few alt pips? I think could really start to turn the game around and bring them up to double digits as well.
Yep, it is do or die. So again, great call from Relic here. And I liked how that eco strategy went. Like, again, they're using the kit and showing why this composition works. they'll use the flashes, they use the prowlers, just so that Starbound doesn't get as many opportunities as they're used to with this operator, with the tour de force that we saw prior. Again, it's just sometimes overstaying, sometimes again underestimating the power of solo players on WADA's side. And if WADA gets onto a site, it's kind of, it feels game over-y at this point. It's been, again, these closeout, these fixations on the chokes that are really strong. WADA, getting back to what worked prior, this feels like they're setting up for an A split again because of the weakness in elbow and in A lane. I'm excited to see what Edith and Millie and Miara have cooked up for this hold.
Oh, wait. Lots of noise and then stop. Right up to the edge. Realize they gotta activate a few things here. Ghost did the same setup in mid just a few rounds ago. This knowledge allows that movement to be so much more crisp from them. And it seems to help, like as I mentioned, those trades, being able to be right there for each other on the anchor.
Oh, this rotation through bottom mid, anything but safe right now. It's a little bit easier with, I don't even know what angle that operator kill was on, but opens up yard.
Yeah, it just got a nice shot, that's for sure. You could hear it was NS. I think we actually heard the teleport off of it, so it might have been up top on some height.
Exactly.
Some elevation there. Okay. They're going to go back. Try to hit this one, too.
I like how they're still cutting noise, so it seems like it's just one person here, like just Starbound, searching for the skill, and then the immediate pop, right? We talked about the time pressure that WADA has previously faced.
I'm too far.
And
30 seconds left.
ultimately,
Nyara. Oh, Juno, the trades.
One
They come
enemy
back.
remaining.
But it's just Ariel swimming around, trying to find something. I'm going to be like, I'm over here.
Spike planted.
It's me. I can't do much. Don't worry.
and I think the reason
Match
why that
point.
looked a little silly is because we might be getting a little DC replay action going through, like you saw Ariel just kind of out in the open. Didn't care about the outcome of the round because that outcome is not going to exist in a few seconds. So, all in all, sometimes you have bad tech days, guys. And I think this is also to call, we did, I think, switch to UE5 for the first time. So, found to be little things here and there that have to get through.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing to look forward to with the UE5 switch is that when we get Abyss back in the following week for round 6 and 7 of GC Swiss. That's exciting. What do you think of Abyss, Riv?
I like Abyss a lot. I think that I never actually played it enough in my ranked games to feel comfortable on B site. A site feels really cool, but on B, I was always just like, where, how, when, like, what's the best? Because I really, really love playing like intricate, the 2v1s, the 3v1s, or in the last moment being able to run around boxes and stuff. And it just felt, there's the sites with elevation like that are still very open, become tough. So I do like it a lot. I like the way it plays and I like the way it hits for attack side, but defending was still a trick.
I'm excited to see how much with the meta shifts with like the double controller, with again the Vice coming in, that it's changed. Because I was like a big Cypher, also my low rank self being Killjoy as well at times, and I loved the Cypher particularly on that map, but I don't think in the current meta it would function too well. So
I love Cypher on that map.
I do
And don't
too.
sell yourself short. It might. I mean,
We'll see.
teams are doing everything.
We'll see that chance.
I think this is one of the times where you can, besides having a lot of the power in your duo, right, in that initiator, the teams are doing a lot of different things right now with being able to use Vise or Fade or not have Vise and have a different initiator or a different Sentinel. So,
And this is
There's a
a
lot of freedom
situation
right
as
now.
well that's unique because Game Changers gets the map pool change first, right, alongside VCL. So we get to see those players again setting kind of the standard, showing off maybe to the coaching staff of Tier 1 what could and could not work so they can draw on it for champs. So, again, setting the precedent, it feels like. But for the time being, again, this feels very nostalgic over to Ascent that right before the map concludes, we get a little replay or reroll action.
yeah.
But, hey, competitive integrity. You gotta do it if it affected the outcome of the round.
Absolutely. We'll be back in just a moment. Into game, that is. Not taking a break. As you see the Radianite Salt factories working here on Corrode.
Hidden
Such
petty.
a cool one.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, yeah, I think a lot of people always shied away, and we even heard on different maps, like there were too many clearing angles or things to clear, but now with the agents we have, it becomes more of like a game to clear the quadrants, move up, and kind of take these spaces on corrode before you get forward. I like the way it plays.
Also, to shout it out as well, there's a little cat drawing in the attacker spawn that when corrode came out, WADA kind of adopted it as their WADA cat because it looked so similar, and it wears a little crown. We'll have to ask the devs if that's actually what it is, but for the time being, let's get back to the action again. This was a make or break round following a timeout for Ghost Gaming where, again, momentum is at the forefront. You realize last time it was an A start. Again, some players individually got punished. Like we talked about that aggressive star-bound peek over towards yard. We'll see if that's the same outcome this time around.
Cleared out. Yeah, there was way more than one gun fired there. So a little bit more of an anchor position taken by Ghost on A as WADA
Matrix.
a lot of corrode sweeping back and forth. The corrode is turning out to be, especially in the beginning, and it's still a little bit, these smoke drop fights, being prepared for the instant fight, or getting shot in the face through a smoke too, as they start going aggressive here, but being ready for the surprise fight is really the bread and butter of corrode.
And they kind of use that annihilation, that nightfall to open up the mid space, but they don't open up the site because the steel garden is there. Either the Vanitas to back it up. They're starting to re-clear the mid space, confirm any rotations that could come through, but something WADA has done well is this zoning, right? Whether it's off of a dark cover, whether it's off of the barrier mesh from the deadlock that we're seeing. Try to narrow down the angle so they can focus on opening up the site through one channel, one avenue. My concern is there's a pretty nice crossfire here, but that's where Jonah comes in.
It's just like they're taking it back on defense. WADA has that paranoia. They get in.
Left.
They're just taking it on offense this time, and now Ariel is left alone.
Timing could be good here. They're not looking into elbow. Starbound not quick enough on the draw, but it's the sensor ultimately that Juna can play off of, and felt like the 12th was an inevitable reroll or not. WADA once again, map and series point.
12-6 here, with Ghost firing a little bit more, but still not on all cylinders. It just doesn't seem like the synergy's been able to click with how fast WADA is really playing it. And I don't think there's any massive mistakes by Ghost either. It's just WADA really came in with a plan. The protocols are hitting. Only the few rounds we saw where they were losing kind of just what was happening in the game on Ascent, but really righted it and found their way to get to this game at 12-6 now with momentum still.
Yeah, absolutely. WADA, again, this is their career debut, so a lot of these adjustments are on the fly, figuring out what worked in a practice versus official.
Like, what tape do you have on them? None? Maybe some scrim chatter. Nothing else.
That's where Ghost thrives, right? Understand the tendencies. We look back at like how they prepped the pistol anti-strats and such, but speaking of anti-strats, look at this. A little A main trap. Juna, get out of there. You're going to be overwhelmed by players. The high gear active. Beautiful paranoia to kind of diffuse the situation. And even if they followed through, there was kind of a generated crunch with Australis. But in the meantime, you saw 3 main. That's the calling card to speed up over towards B, but this Vice utility, tricky to navigate, and even so when reinforced by the Astra. Oh, they're not going to clear this corner.
Nope. No, they aren't.
Late.
What a move. Parapixel gets into position. The rest of the team ready to help. Ready to get the spike down and get those sensors up too. It just becomes so tough for Ghost to even get back in these guns. The future they need to use, the backstab, everything coming together.
You kind of saw this retake plan in full swing off of the Nightfall. They were just waiting for the plant. They were waiting for the contact, and fortunately, WADA just got ahead of all of it, and he has no hope. Just dreams, unfortunately, will be fed with nightmares. Met by 3 players for WADA, staring her down, and they are able to secure the 13th